Welcome back, YouTube. It is Saturday afternoon and I am jumping on to do a part 2 of all this drama that's been going on. If you haven't been following, you'll probably need to watch part 1 that is posted on my YouTube channel labeled Exposing Julia's Hate Campaign. This is a part 2 after I just got additional receipts and I have been having a conversation today with RECAPS. Now, before we get started, I am going to be playing some live clips from Julia's content. And just to put out a disclosure, because you guys are aware of what's been going on with this copyright stuff, this is my copyright disclaimer. And under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. We're here to criticize, comment, and report, okay? So, Julia, I know you're going to be watching at some point. Just know that I'm at least giving you the courtesy that you didn't give me last year when you saw all of my content. That I will be replaying several of your lives that you tried to take down from other people that have reposted because you don't want anyone to see these receipts. So, all of this has came to light from an old supporter of Julia's hate campaign who was actively involved, who was part of the doxing, was part of the fake accounts, was part of the group chat that Julia was enlisting to perform some of these heinous things. Who the fuck is beeping out there? So anyway, we are first going to start out with this, okay? I called all of this that's happening months ago. I didn't have the proof, but I have it now. And I knew it. If you guys remember this YouTube little vlog that I did.
That's going on TikTok. I first need to let you guys.
Let me start this over. I posted this to my YouTube channel after one of my 15 accounts.
Besties, I've cracked the code on this fuckery that's going on TikTok. I first need to let you guys know I no longer have a TikTok. Any account that you find is a fake. This morning, I created a shell account just to have to browse TikTok. I wasn't going to be creating content, and I did not share this account with anybody. This is the handle of the shell account that I made that I did not share with anybody. This fake account was made with the same profile picture and a very similar handle, and it had reposted several of my videos from my old accounts. So I thought, how weird, I hadn't shared this handle with anybody. How did they find me? So I went back to the new account and I turned on the feature where I can see who had viewed this new shell profile. And look what I found. So here's a list of all the people that found my shell account. I don't know how, but if you look at the bottom, there's one that sticks out that's called 80s Baby. I recognize 80s Baby because she trolled me from Julie's account for months on Instagram and TikTok. And I know this is one of Julia's mods, if not Julia herself. So they are already creating fake accounts. It's crazy how much energy they put into this. I don't even know how they found my new one, but I caught you bitches slipping. All right, I'm no longer on TikTok, so anything you see is fake. I will not be. Besties, I've cracked the code on this fuckery.
Okay, I posted this, I want to say in August, maybe July. I always knew it. I knew that Julia and her mods were behind everything that was happening to me on TikTok, but I wasn't counting on one of her besties surfacing and giving me all of the receipts to everything that actually happened that I knew was happening, but I couldn't prove it. So 80s Baby was Julia's right-hand mod. If you guys recall, she was on a lot of her lives. She was in a lot of my lives. She trolled me actively. And I always knew, or I had a suspicion, that some of the fake accounts that were created belonged to 80s Baby. 80s Baby literally followed my every move. On this video, I was pretty much telling you guys, I made a new account. I didn't share it, and 80s Baby had already found it. They were duplicating the new TikTok accounts that I was creating to confuse people to follow their account instead of mine. And on those accounts, they were posting really fucked up content. One of those accounts is actually still up. And I'm going to show you guys what's on it. And I have proof that it actually belongs to Juliet today. I had a little bit earlier on the last video, but I have concrete evidence now. So this is the account that is still up. This account doxed my mods. It posted pictures of my children. It manipulated my content to fit this narrative. It is still up, so I'm going to go ahead and play the videos that are on this account. You can still find this. I wouldn't be surprised if Julia deletes this account now that it's... I keep bringing attention to it and that I can prove that it belongs to her now. So here we go. Now, mind you, it's important to notice the date, okay? This account's first video was posted on May 10th, okay? And before I play these videos, I'm going to show you a receipt from RECAPS that I received today that their group was created on May 9th. This group was the group that was created by RECAPS as the admin, and it included all of Julia's closest besties that were going to be mass reporting and trolling all my accounts.
Yeah, I have a lot of scrolling back to do. I couldn't go back to the very first message in that group. Literally, I tried it twice. Took me more than 5 hours to like scroll back. And then IG would like twitch out and kick me out. And then I'd have to start all over again. And so I gave up. But luckily, I was able to find that audio of Julia, which on May 9th, she told me to gather up the besties and go with 80s Baby, make a group, you know, to kind of talk about this and that, blah, blah, blah. So that's when the group started, May 9th. It didn't happen before. Whatever happened with Onward and reaching out, like, I'm sure maybe she was talking to 80s Baby back then, you know, and so I'm almost positive she had something to do with all that, you know. I didn't do any of that, but whoever else she talked to back then were the ones that...
Okay, so RECAPS lets us know that the group was created by the request of Julia on May 9th.
Main page, like, yo ya sé quién es quién. But could you do a group chat, please? Like, could you add us all in a group chat? Como yo te sigo on Instagram, with the besties that you and 80s Baby actually trust, and then we could just go from there. Si me puede hacer eso, because I don't know. You know, like, I know, but no sé. So if you could do that for me, so we can just get the fucking ball moving.
Okay, so in this message, Julia sends a message to RECAPS that asks her to create this group on May 9th, okay? In the screen recording, you also see screenshots that Julia is sending to RECAPS of what to put in these groups. Or what to put on these TikToks. So if you pause right here, okay? This first screenshot right here is a screenshot of, hold on, it's a screenshot of one of my TikTok comments. And the second one over here is a screenshot of my Facebook that she was a part of. Now this is where it's really interesting, okay? These clips, as you can see, Julia sent them to her group, to RECAPS. I'm gonna scroll this out. Where'd it go? Hold on. Okay, as you can see, there is Julia's little face. This is her Instagram account. Now, these clips are particularly important because these are the same clips that are posted in this fake account that I have shown you guys. As you can see, the second one down here, you couldn't see it very well, but so hold tight. I'm going to play the ones that are currently posted on the AnnieGRCX account. The AnnieGRCXX account was dropped on May 10th, okay? So one day after this group is created,
I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Feeling fussy, walking in my Balenciennes, trying to bring out the fabulous. Cause I give a fuck.
You know, when you lose,
okay, you see this clip? This is the same clip that Julia sent to RECAPS right here, okay? It cuts out a little bit, but this clip right here, okay? The clip on the bottom is the same clip that I'm playing.
nothing to lose. It's like, all right, bitches, y'all got me canceled. Like, what else do you want? What else? How else can we help you on this small and humble platform of mine with 5,000 followers? You need to stop body shaming in clubs. Y'all need to stop following my lives. If it bothers you, what I fucking do? Hi. This is twin 1 and twin 2.
So this is a recording of a live that I did with my kids. We were literally making Valentine's boxes, and her people were screen recording every live up until this point.
21. This is 22.
This video was also posted May 10th. All of these videos were posted May 10th, exactly a day after this group is created.
Oh. So a Mexi twin and a white twin. Mexi twin. You know, when you came out, when they brought you to me and you were all white, and Millie was all Mexican and brown, I was like, oh, I don't think this one's mine. Are you guys sure I have the right baby here? And they're like, yep. And your dad even looked at you funny. Your dad was like,
That's like a perfect mixture.
What?
He looks, you're exactly your skin tone, and she looks exactly his skin tone.
But he's almost like blonde. Like when he was born, he was like a white baby.
I know, that's your hair color.
So in addition to my content, they started doxing my mods. They started body shaming my mods and posting my mods on these accounts, which I don't know why you guys targeted my mods. They had nothing to do with you. Like, Julia, you were so extra for this. So in one of those comments, one of my mods mentions that she's a teacher. Eventually, 80s Baby found the school that my mod worked at, and they reached out to her work. That just shows you how evil these people are. My mods had nothing to do with me. They were just my supporters, but people were actually targeted just for supporting my platforms by Julia and her people.
Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you.
Okay, I work in Mexico and I can afford 50 of them. I can donate 2 of them. That's not my problem.
Okay, they start doxing me. They start posting what supposedly DHL that I go to, right? They posted a screenshot of a text between Walter and I that he had posted, and then the address of the DHL that I supposedly. Okay, you guys have the wrong DHL, by the way, but they did try. So they, again, this was posted on May 11th, 2 days after this group was created at the request of Julia.
Honestly, I will say some of her stuff is funny. Like, I could see how she has, you know, some of her stuff makes me laugh. Like the scam. I don't know, it's grown on me. I have a fat fetish. Let's not call it fat fetish, so we don't hurt anybody. But like a thing for larger women that I'm so skinny. I feel offended.
BBW.
Now I know why you swallow.
When Walter went to Japan, he'll do me dirty on this one.
We have reached 2,555. Let's close the entries. Did you get mine? Elena Robinson? Yes, I did. There's an anonymous bestie that
all right, so all of these videos were posted between May 10th and May 11th, okay? And exactly, again, here are the receipts where you can see Julia literally sends the clips of what to post. This video right here is actually on another account right now. I forgot to send it. That Google account that's been circulating. Let me show it to y'all where it is. I was not prepared with receipts for the Google account. But some of you have already seen it because you've reached out to me and told me that it exists. All right here. So this account also belongs to Julia. For those of you, any account that I see with this content, I already, like, automatically, it belongs to Julia. This is also one of the accounts that she strategically put in her Instagram post a few weeks ago, asking them to help her take down the Reddit account and help me repost it, blah, blah, blah. Or help me take it down and help me report this page. And it was this brand new TikTok account. And my guess is that she did that so that to give this new page traction. So this account is currently up on TikTok right now. It has been very, very active since Julia's been getting exposed for all of this. And if you notice, one of the videos that's on here, I didn't get a good screenshot of it, but this video right here, okay, this video right here is again the same clip that Julia sent to her group. Okay, so you cannot convince me otherwise. These accounts belong to Julia. So I'll finish playing the clip. So yes, for those of you that are watching, Julia and her mods were the ones that were actively searching for my mods, my followers. They took pictures of your guys' families. They put them on these accounts. They took pictures of Jen's children. Jen is a retired vet and she has special needs children. They were also reposted onto this account, but Jen was able to get it taken down. What they did is disgusting, because it's one thing to come after me, but you came after my mods that had nothing to do with anything. You went after people's children. You doxed people's children. You doxed my mods. So for you to continue crying about the fact that, oh, Anna doxed her. Yeah, you didn't tell people, like, you're not telling people what you were doing behind the scenes, which this is everything you were doing behind the scenes. And one of your besties has came out to expose you for everything that you were doing.
Porque te conozco, you know what I mean? Like, eres bien pinche desmadrosa y te gusta el pedo. So I was like, I wonder si ella va a querer hacer eso. You don't have to, como te digo, but if you want to. And also, si me puedes hacer el favor, because you know who the besties are. You know what I mean? Like, you're always in my lives, and you see quién me quiere y quién no. So I'm going to tell 80s Baby también, if you and her could do the favor and...
Okay, so here is a screenshot on September 16th of Julia discussing that 80s Baby se salió, blah, blah, blah. We're going to get into all of that. But first, before I get deeper into this group, I'm going to replay Julia's live that she dropped a week ago, where she tried to set the stage for why RECAPS was going to be exposing her the way that she has. Okay, so we're going to watch that first. Julia, I know you're going to get mad and you're going to try to copyright again. Under the Fair Use Act, we can repost your content for criticism and judging purposes. So this live was hosted a week ago by Julia, trying to explain what happened between her and RECAPS.
She's like, yeah, I'm trolling your sister so that way, you know, it doesn't look sus when I'm on other creators' pages. And it was just like, in this time, I was going at it with another creator. You guys know Bob, you know, Beef Over Borders. And so I was just like, so I ended up telling my sister, I'm like, hey, that's RECAPS. And so she was like, what the fuck? So then, like, we just played along with it because at that time...
It's worth mentioning that this video has since been deleted by Julia, along with any other video that has to do with this hate campaign. Julia has also attacked RECAPS' YouTube. She has had it successfully shut down. They have attacked her on TikTok to try to silence her from releasing all of these receipts.
Like, what do we do? And I just I couldn't, like, there was no way I could come on my platform and be like, hey, that's RECAPS, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, there was stuff where, like, it started to become sus. And I was just like, that's not normal. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, So it wasn't normal. It was getting out of hand. And I was just like, I don't know. And so then she started having problems when I did my merch line. Okay. Whenever I was doing my merch with my hoodies and stuff, I felt like she thought that she had, like, what is it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, she felt entitled to, like, critique my merch and tell me what I should and shouldn't do, and that she personally didn't like this or she personally didn't like that. And it came to a point where, like, she wanted something custom. And I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that because it's not for you. The merch is for everybody. You know what I mean? And so it became a point where I don't want to name names. Like I said, we're using RECAPS. That's her freaking whatever. I'm not gonna use real names. I'm not gonna use real stuff. I'm letting you guys know. So there was I had some mods and I had some besties who were always in my lives, and I would interact with as many as I could. And RECAPS started feeling some type of way towards certain besties, and it was said about my merch because I made hoodies for men because I didn't want it to just be for women. I have male besties too. And so I said, I was thinking about a certain bestie when I made the male merch. This person, Recaps, got upset because apparently it was really disrespectful of me to say that I thought of this merch for a certain bestie when I should be thinking of merch like that for my husband. Like, I don't know. It was like she was on the defense for Jacobo all the time. Like, apparently I mistreated him and I didn't put him first. And, like, it was just crazy. And, like, that to me, I got mad and I messaged her and I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, let's talk about it. I didn't come at her a certain type of way because I just, I feel like with a person like this and like everything that we were going through, I feel like I had to like walk on eggshells when it came to talking to her. You know what I mean? And so I messaged her, I sent her some voice messages and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, talk to me. Like let's fix this. I don't want to have a bad relationship with you. Me and you, we vented to each other. We've said stuff to each other. I know your stuff, you know my stuff. Like, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? She got really defensive. She blocked me on everything. Okay, everything was blocked. And I couldn't get a hold of her on Instagram, on TikTok. I didn't know her number. She didn't know my personal number. I started reaching out to other besties because I knew that they knew her. And so I was just like, can you reach out to her and let her know that I'm trying to talk to her because, she just blocked me on everything. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of this so that we can work on it. You know what I mean? I didn't want to like not be her friend. Even though she had already done this stuff,
I forgot to mention that Julia gave this explanation an hour after Recaps leaked the first receipt, which was the receipt of the group chat conversation where Julia was enlisting people to come after me. And so an hour later, Julia jumps on live to set the stage for the fact that supposedly that Recaps is just this disgruntled fan. Okay, she doesn't mention in this live yet, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's important to mention that Recaps was a supporter of her platforms, not only financially, but she was the one that was screen recording all of her lives, posting them over to a YouTube channel so people could keep up with Julia's lives. And Recaps was the one that was screen recording all of my lives and giving them to Julia for the hate campaign. Recaps is someone that purchased Julia's merch. She sent her gifts. She sent her money. And it's important to note that because this is coming from somebody that not only supported Julia's platform with time and, whatever, but money, okay? Recaps gave this person money. This content creator that is now on here slandering one of her followers and pretty much setting the stage as she's just this crazy fan that she got weird, okay? So keep that in mind as you're watching this live.
And, a relationship with her because she's one of my OG besties and, we had like a rapport. We had, you know what I mean? So I was just like, okay, I couldn't get a hold of her. Then some other stuff came out. So not only did she have that fake account, Juliaag111, trolling me and my sister on our lives, she also messaged my brother.
Pause. Okay. Where she just mentioned that Recaps was trolling her sister, she forgot to mention, which Recaps later posted a receipt, that Julia was the one that told Recaps to go troll her sister off of that fake account. She's leaving that out. But Recaps, and I'll have to dig up the receipt, but that was one of the receipts that Recaps posted on her YouTube channel that Julia had taken down for copyright. So Julia, as you're telling people how Recaps did all this shitty shit, you're forgetting to tell them that she did it because you asked her to. You specifically directed Recaps to go and troll your sister from that fake account. And you were laughing at it. So I don't know why you're throwing her under the bus right now like this. Is so fucked up.
And my brother reached out to me and was like, hey, she's trying to get dirt on you. I don't know if you know this, but she messaged me and was like, hey, like, what do you have on Julia and her husband? Like, tell me it so that way I can trust you. And like, we can, I don't know what was going on. I don't know their messages. Okay. I don't know what was going on. She was trying to he got creeped out because he was like, she wants me to and your husband. And he was like, there's nothing to tell. Like, and so I guess she thought he was.
She was buffering, sorry.
He ended up telling me, and I was just like, I never confronted her about it. I did tell other besties about it because I was iffy about her. And I was like, hey, what do you guys, because like it was a close thing. You know what I mean? Sorry, if it's freezing, I can give a second for it to come back. Let me know when we're good. It's good right now? Okay, so I never confronted her, but I did tell other besties, like, hey, this is what's going on with recaps. How do you guys feel? And at the time, like, they were kind of saying about my other besties, and it was basically but yeah, so she reached out to my brother trying to get information and dirt on me and my husband. And like that, me, I brushed it off, okay? Because in my head, I was like, I get why she would do something. Like, my thing is, I kept defending her. Like, I kept making excuses for her because I just resonated with her and some other stuff. You know what I mean? And so I let it go. Yeah, I let it go. I didn't confront her about it. I didn't say anything. And I just let it be. Now, okay, she blocked me. I tried to get to the bottom of it. I tried to, like, repair the friendship. I tried to, like, you know, explain to her what was going on. She was feeling some type of way about some of my other besties and some of my mods. And she was complaining about me not giving attention on my lives. And I'm just like, it's not, like, I get that you're my friend. TikTok and we message each other and stuff like that. But there's no way that I'm going to come on here and I'm going to freaking only pay attention to you. It does not work like that. You know what I mean? So there's that. I thought she was just not doing recaps. So I honestly didn't have a way to explain it when you guys started to ask, where's recaps? Where's the YouTube? Where's this? Where's that? And I didn't know how to explain what was going on. So I was just like, she's taking a break. She has a family. You know, she has a personal life. You know, she can't always be on here recording my lives, and I understand that, and I you know, I get it. And I was just making excuses for her because I didn't want the drama. And honestly, I feel like we didn't have a falling out. I feel like she just straight up blocked me and I couldn't get a word into her. I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't, you know what I mean? So whatever. So now, gotta get into the now. The now is that she came back, okay? And I know about the Reddit page. We all know about the fucking Reddit page. Is 80s Baby recap too? No, 80s Baby is not recaps. 80s Baby has taken a break because she was basically being bullied because of everything that was going on. And, I understood that she needed to take a break. She is a mod on my YouTube, and she'll come on here from time to time, and she'll help me out. But
80s Baby is her right hand, okay? It's important for you guys to notice how she's protecting 80s Baby and this and that, because 80s Baby is behind a lot of this.
Getting too much. And, I feel like something happened that I didn't know about, that like she just was not an 80s Baby fan. She was not my other besties fans. Like, it was just a whole thing, so I was just like, okay, so we know about the Reddit page, we know what's going on there.
Also, pause, okay? Because you guys heard her mention that supposedly there was no falling out with recaps. If there was no falling out with recaps, Julia, how come she served you a cease and desist? In the middle of everything that happened, now you guys heard Julia say, we don't know, but we knew about the Reddit page, we weren't in there, okay? This is part of why recaps came out, okay? And how recaps confirmed that Julia and 80s Baby were both in the Reddit page, doxing her, releasing her information, because in the middle of their fallout, whatever it is that happened, recaps issued a cease and desist to 80s Baby and Julia, and only them three knew about this letter. Okay, so I'm gonna read what what recaps posted on one of her YouTube videos that has since been taken down by Julia. I sold cups to people within the group, but on shipping labels I would write Liz, Starbabes, never my full name. I only had a few people on my personal IG and personal Facebook where pictures of me and my full name were on. Out of those handful of people, only 2 persons came to mind that would do this type of stuff. Therefore, I sent only them a certified letter, which one signed for and the other rejected. The letter was a cease and desist that was issued by recaps to Julia and 80s Baby. My educated guess says that the person that signed for it told the second person what I had sent, and the person, na la pendeja, declined it. And when it was time to pick up their packages from the post office, an account, she didn't sign for it. So 80s Baby received the cease and desist from RECAPS. Once she received it, she told Julia what the letter was, and Julia rejected the certified letter that RECAPS had sent. The only 3 people that knew about this cease and desist were those 3 people. This information was dropped into the Reddit thread. I don't see RECAPS being the one to drop that into the Reddit thread. So Julia and RECAPS, or Julia and 80s Baby, started dropping information into the Reddit thread to turn things onto RECAPS. They started dropping her full name. They started dropping information about her and cheating on her husband. Quien sabe qué, okay? RECAPS is somebody that was in their group, and this is what they started doing to her. That is crazy to me. That is so crazy to me that they would do this to someone, because Julia didn't think that RECAPS still had all the receipts. So anyway, this information starts getting leaked into the Reddit thread, and that is where RECAPS decided to come forward, because she was being doxxed in this Reddit thread by Julia and 80s Baby. So let's finish out. Oh, where'd the clip go?
It is what it is, okay? Unfortunately, I don't think it can be taken down. I don't even know what Reddit is. I do get screenshots about
you don't know what it is, but you're balls deep in there doxing your own
people.
Stop
sending it to me. Like, there's just no reason to even feed.
I cannot. You don't know what it is, Julia, but you're in there with your own fake accounts doxing your old besties. Get out of here.
To it, okay? But on there, I have been sent that RECAPS has been mentioned many times on the Reddit page. There is a certain person on there. Her name is Rosie, I think. And she kept mentioning RECAPS and kept saying that RECAPS had dirt on me and she had dirt on my husband. I addressed it on my Instagram post, and I was just like, look, I don't know what kind of dirt she would have on me and my husband, but I don't have any ill will towards her. I don't have any ill feelings towards her. We haven't talked. And like, that's what it was. You know what I mean? And so they put out some of her personal information in there. Please don't go look for it. Please don't do anything like that. But
can we talk about this for a second? Okay, for someone that didn't know about Reddit, she knew everything. She knew about Rosie. She knew that her information was being dropped on there. And she's covering it up by don't go look for it. But she was the one dropping it into the Reddit thread. Julia and 80s Baby were the ones dropping RECAPS' personal information onto the Reddit thread. But to her audience, she's over here telling them, I don't know what's going on. Don't go look for it. Something's happening. I don't even know what Reddit is. Like, I just cannot with the level of fakeness. I cannot with the amount of lies that she tells her people to not see her for who she really is. Like, RECAPS was one of them. RECAPS was one of them. RECAPS supported her platforms financially, emotionally. She devoted hours of her time to help Julia grow, to help Julia capture content, to help Julia repost her lives. This is how she's doing one of her own. This is how I know it's not personal what she did to me. This is how I know she has issues far beyond me.
They were putting some of her stuff out there, and she got mad and she thought it was me. And, she made this whole, she got back on YouTube. She started posting my old lives, and she basically said that, like, it's me, that I'm the person who made up the Reddit. That is just so fucking far-fetched, okay? Because, why would I make a Reddit page about myself and about, one of my friends and, somebody that I know that I've met in person and just go in on both of us? That makes no sense. You know what I mean? So for her to say, oh, it's Julia, she's the one who's putting my information out there and she made this Reddit page. Bro, I literally fucking had a breakdown on YouTube because they posted my mom's obituary. You know what I mean? Like, you think I'm gonna...
Okay, think about this now, okay? Do we really believe somebody leaked her mom's obituary? Or do we now know that Julia was an active member of the Reddit thread and probably dropped it herself for sympathy? Dropped it herself to be able to weaponize her platform to take down the Reddit thread. That is, if I'm wrong, prove me wrong, Julia, but you were in there. Nobody else knew about the obituary link. Nobody else saw it except for you. And then you went crying about it. And that's the sympathy that you use to weaponize your platform to try to get this account taken down when it no longer served your purpose.
Do that to myself. I'm not a fucking crazy person. You know what I mean? So Damn, Bessie, that sounds scary. No, and it low-key is. Yeah, I'm not mentioning names. We're just going to say recaps because that's who it is. So that happened. She started posting all of my old lies, and she put on her YouTube channel that I consented. I did not. From the beginning.
Okay. Did she not consent to recaps reposting? A lot of you guys have been here since last year. And last year, recaps used to repost all of these lives, and including my lives, onto that channel. It was the recaps YouTube channel. And yes, Julia was aware of it. Julia gave consent because at the time it benefited her. At the time, that's where people were going to watch her lives that they had missed and to catch up with the drama between me and her. A lot of my lives were on that channel. A lot of her lives were on that channel, so people could go there and catch up on the chisme. And yes, she did consent to it because it was up for an entire year until recently. Now that it's not serving her purpose, she's telling people I never gave consent. We all know that's a crock of shit.
I did not ask her, and this is what I feel like people misinterpreted. I think that my besties thought that I recruited her to do my lives. No, she came to me and she told me, this is what I do when I want to do it. Okay. I never told her you have to post this and you have to post this and you have to do this and I'm going to pay you. No, none of that. I never said you're going to do this for me. I never hired her, recruited her, nothing like that. She did it all on her own. And I had a say in what could not be posted. I will say that. I'll give her that. She would tell me, hey, is this okay? And but after that, I did not consent to any of that being on there when it comes to the Mexico lives. So I did a copyright claim on those videos. And I'm going to tell you why. The older ones, I didn't do a copyright claim because I did give her permission to upload those. Okay. I did. The ones that were in Mexico, I did.
We now know that she filed a copyright claim on every single video of recaps and had her YouTube channel shut down. And she's going to tell you guys that she did it because her family members were in it, but that's not factual. The copyright claims that she did on every single one of her videos, even the old ones, resulted in Recaps' YouTube channel being shut down.
I give her permission to upload that, and my nieces were in that video. 3 of my nieces, they're minors. They're not my children. They're my sister-in-law's children. You cannot post somebody else's kids on your platform like that.
Really, Julia? Hold on. Please hold. Please hold. You cannot post somebody else's kids on your platform. Okay. All right, Julia. Then if you could just explain really quickly how my kids made it onto this account right here.
And twin 2. No, that's twin 1. This is twin 2. Oh. So a Mexican twin and a white twin.
So Julia, it's okay for your mods and your followers, or you, whoever it is that has the fingers behind that account, to post my children on your platform because it served your purpose. But it's not okay that Recaps posted something that included someone's kids because it no longer served you. Okay, got it. Just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Use it, and she was monetized. Minors, they did not consent to being recorded. They knew that they were on a TikTok live, but I never told them that they were going to be recorded and posted on a YouTube channel. That was never discussed, and that was not allowed, and I did not consent for that. So you cannot post. They're 3 minors, and their mothers do not want them on there. So I let her know that. I never got a message back. I don't even know if the message went through. So I did a copyright claim because I didn't want my nieces on there.
See me in the comments?
It's not right. And she has she also has another video of my sister and my nephew on there.
So pause. Julia has me muted from her YouTube channel. So I did try to call her out, but my messages didn't go through.
On there. My sister did not consent for my nephew to be on there. You cannot post children who are not yours on there unless you have consent from the...
Okay, Julia, so what about my kids? What about my mod's kids that are all on the fake account that you own, that is still up to date? This account has my children, it has my mod's children, it has my mod's spouses, all of that. But that's okay because it's not yours? Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure we spotted out that contradiction, because it's very, it's just funny how when the tables turn, it's no longer okay. But when it benefited Julia, it was fine.
Parents. And that's why I did a copyright claim on that, because you're not going to post Jacobo's family like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not okay.
It's worth mentioning she filed a copyright claim on my video that didn't include any children. She filed a copyright claim on every single video of recaps that did not include children, even the lives that she had previously consented to being reposted from a year ago. And it ended up in Recaps' YouTube channel being taken down. And what does that mean? That means that Recaps will be blacklisted from YouTube. If your account is taken down for copyright, it means you will never be able to create another YouTube channel, ever. It's not just that account. You can no longer make another account with your information. So that does affect Recaps pretty negatively. That is fucked up that this was an account that she had created. It was also her personal account, whatever. And at one point, it served a purpose for Julia. When it no longer did, she attacked her. She had it taken down for copyright, and now Recaps will never be able to make another YouTube channel. That is fucked up. That is Julia's doing, just because she's changed her mind. And at what point, she did give consent for these videos to be reposted. You guys all know that. You guys all know that. She took them down because Recaps started exposing old lives that were very damning, including the live that included her talking about the deceased victim and her brother's murder, and her blaming the murder of that her brother committed on the victim and the brother's girlfriend. Those are also conveniently copyrighted. So it had nothing to do with, oh, I didn't get, it had everything to do with the fact that they were damning now. And Recaps had a hold of all of those, so she had to shut her up.
She had to be the one that posted, I don't know. Yeah, so she was monetizing on those videos. And like I said, the rest, I don't care. I don't care about the other videos that you post or whatever. That's completely fine because I did consent to those lives. But
then where are they, Julia? Why did you have them all taken down? If you didn't care about them, why is Recaps' YouTube channel shut down? Because you copyrighted every single one. Why?
Did not consent to you posting my nieces on there. So that's why I did a copyright.
I didn't consent to you posting my kids. You walking fucking contradiction.
Claim YouTube got back to me. They took the videos down, and that's why she's upset. But you have to understand, it's not me coming at you at a weird angle. It's that you can't post minors on there. You don't even know them. You don't know my nieces. They're all underage. They're 15, 14, and 6 years old. You can't post them. I didn't give you permission for that. And even if I did, like, I would have asked my sister-in-laws. And so my sister-in-laws reached out to me because they saw it. And they were like, hey, we don't want our children on there. Like, we did not give permission for that to be. And I understood. I had to apologize. I was like, I'm sorry that this happened. I know that. I don't even know how this happened. I did not tell her to record my Mexico lives and post that. I never told her to do that. I never consented to that.
You were aware she was recording all of your lives and all of mine. And it was fine. There was no, I didn't give consent. That's just what you're trying to use to backpedal. You were completely aware that this supporter of yours was screen recording all of your lives for the YouTube channel. And at the time it was fine because you didn't realize that it was going to bite you in the ass and that one day you and that supporter would have beef. So now you're clinging to the I didn't give consent, but you did. We all know that you did, Julia. We all know she had
I'd apologize to my niece. I'd apologize to my sister-in-laws because, like, I did not know that your daughters were going to be on there. They were like, it's okay that they're on your channel because we know what you're doing. We know what's going on. But for them to do that, no. And I was like, I know. So I apologized to them. The videos got taken down, thankfully, but that was it. But she's upset because I did a copyright claim on those videos. There's other 2 videos where I'm speaking about my brother who was in jail. There is a lot of stuff going on. I will not speak about the other situation out of respect for the family and for the victim. I'm not going to do it.
But we all know she didn't have respect for the victim. I've already played it in part 1 of this. That she used to use that murder as chisme for her lives. And Recaps was able to share one of those where she blamed the victim. She blamed her brother's girlfriend and pretty much painted her brother out to be the hero that was saving this young 15-year-old girl from being kidnapped. And her brother was pretty much a hero in the stories that she used to tell on her lives. But now that it's coming out and now that people found a news article, now that people found the victim's family, she had it taken down, or she tried. It's on my last video and it's still up. But she came after Recaps because she knew that Recaps had a lot of damning evidence. This was never about respect for the victim, because if there was any respect for the victim, she would have never spoken on them the way that she did and slandered them now that he is deceased. She won't speak on the new murder because she knows, what could she say? She knows that she's going to be confronted for defending her brothers that are murderers. point blank. This is not about respect for the victim. Miss me with that shit, Julia.
Maybe in the future when, you know, there's more details or there's more information, yeah, we could talk about it. But right now, I'm not going to speak on it out of respect for the victim and their family. My other brother, I was completely honest about that. I never ever said I have a fucking perfect family and my...
You know what I think is interesting? A lot of you guys have defended her and said she doesn't even talk to her brothers. However, she gave her brother's account of the murder through her content. So, do you really not talk to your brothers, Julia? Because for not talking to your brothers, you were defending his side of the story through your platform by telling people he had rescued this girl from being kidnapped and was pretty much a hero. And no, you were not honest about it because you also left out all the facts that would have humanized the victim. And you included all the facts, or actually lies, that paints your brother as a young, dumb kid that was just trying to save his girlfriend. You left out the fact that the victim had just had a baby a week ago. You left out the fact that his car was stolen 3 days prior and he was there on the issue of his vehicle. You told people he had showed up because he was trying to collect pussy. That's what you told people. You told people he was showing up to collect the pussy that he paid for and he was trying to kidnap the girl. Get the fuck out of here.
You know, I let you guys know my brother is in jail. I explained to you what went on. Whether you choose to believe it or not, it doesn't matter. He's in jail. He's not out. He's not doing it again, you know.
But he's going to be out in 10 years. And in the meantime, you're here monetizing on his crime and the dead victim's name.
I mean, he's in jail. So I don't know what you want to take from that. I can only tell you what I know, what the people who were there know, what was on the news or what wasn't.
If you didn't tell people what was on the news, you also didn't tell people what the victim's family said. And you know you're in deep shit for that, which is why you haven't gone live this entire time. That's why you're hiding.
Either way, he's in jail. Not everything is 100% factual, and we know that. But from what I know, from what my family members have told me, from the people who were there have told me, that's how it went down. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. It's a tragedy what my brother did. He's in jail for it now, and I mean, I was honest about it. I don't know why it needs to be posted again. It was on fucking national news.
Why did my felonies need to get posted again, Julia? If it was on national news and, you know, people already knew about it, why did my felonies need to get posted again and brought to light again on your YouTube channel?
Whatever my brother who's in jail now from 2 years ago when I was honest with you guys about him being in jail and what he did, that has nothing to do with me. I was not out there when he did it. I was, you know what I mean? I didn't talk to my brothers. I still don't. Because the fact of how they are. You know what I mean? If you guys want to fucking put that on me, I mean, do what you have to do. But they're still my family, but I don't talk to them. I don't fuck with them.
That is your bloodline. And it explains to us why you are so evil, why you are so vindictive, and why you attack people the way that you do. It explains to us why your family doesn't have any regard for children or their safety. It explains why you are so comfortable doxing my children out here and getting the cartel on those Facebook posts, which I also have proof of now that you were the one behind that. So you may not have been the one behind the trigger, but it tells us that's where you come from. And you and your family don't have any regard for other human life, for children, and you guys are egotistical beings that need to be in control all the time and need to prove to people that you're in charge. And that's why you do what you do on social media. You may not be murdering people, but you are stepping all over them in the same way that your brothers did when they killed those innocent people. That is why it's important. That is why it's relevant right now.
Honestly, I was honest about that. You guys never saw them in my lives. You guys never saw them in my videos because I do not speak to them. And that's that. So, as far as this goes, RECAPS posted a voice recording of mine from a bestie chat that she created. She added some besties in there, and we would just...
Notice how she said, a bestie chat that she created, right? Trying to put it on RECAPS. But you didn't tell people that you told her to create it.
Same page, like yo ya sé quién es quién. But could you do a group chat, please? Like, could you add us all in a group chat? Como yo te sigo on Instagram with the besties that you and 80s babies actually trust, and then we can just go from there. Si me puede hacer eso, because I don't know. You know, like I know, but no sé. So if you could do that for me, so we can just get the fucking ball moving.
So se hizo la pendeja. Like, I don't know how to do it, you do it. But on her live, she's telling people, RECAPS created it. Tell them why Recaps created it, Julia, because you asked her to. You leave out a lot of things. You leaving out a lot of important facts, Julia.
Tit for tat about what was going on last year when I was going at it with a certain creator. You already know Bob, Beef Over Borders, right? So we were going back and forth. And yeah, I mean, I said what I said. What do you want me to do? I already said I'm not going to apologize for things that I said in the past. When I said it, I meant it. And people just want to relive on it. Like, those were confidential, private. It was a private group chat, and we're just going tit for tat.
Hey, Julia, remember when you read off my private confidential messages between me and my best friend on Facebook that were part of my police report? Do you remember that? Karma's a bitch, huh? You know how that you know how it feels now to have thousands of people listening to a private conversation that you had with people that was not intended for the public? Remember that?
I mean, what do you want me to do? I've said way worse things in my life about what was going on last year with that person.
We know. And I have the receipts for that too, Julia. Just hang tight. We know now you said way worse things. And I'm here to show how disgusting of things you said.
With Beef Over Borders, they cannot get over it. They want to fucking do the same thing year after year. And I'm not here for it. The videos are no longer there because I'm over it.
The videos are no longer there. They were deleted the same day she started filing copyright notices. And she deleted those videos because she knew that her videos contained a lot of my stolen content. And if I wanted to, I could have brought down her channel. If I wanted to, I could have filed copyright notices on all of the content that she posted of me to build her YouTube channel. I never did that because I was never focused on getting back at her or fucking with her. I was always focused on trying to rebuild everything that she was tearing down of mine. I was always just focused on rebuilding my TikTok, keeping my raffles going. I was never focused on breaking you, Julia. Otherwise, I could have taken down your entire measly fucking channel. And I didn't. And that's the only reason why you deleted it. Because you knew that as soon as you started filing copyright notices, you opened the door for those to be filed on your channel. Because everything you created your channel on was my stolen content. My story. That's what you built your channel on. So the fact that you even have the audacity to file copyright notices on Recaps' shit, like, you looking bad, bitch. You looking real bad.
It already happened. We have to move on. You have to produce different content. We cannot be every day all...
We have to move on because it's your turn now, right? You want to move on because you don't want to get exposed next. Because now that the tables are turning, and one thing about those tables is they always turn. And now that the heat is on you, you want people to forget about it, but it doesn't work that way.
You're freaking talking about the same thing. We have to move on. We have to... Stuff. You know what I mean?
Also, if you moved on, Julia, if you moved on, why are you still orchestrating all of this behind the scenes? Because I have shit that's recent that you're still doing. You have been keeping up with me even down to my DV incident that I'm going to show receipts. So you haven't moved on either. You're still just as obsessed with me. The only difference is that you're doing it behind the scenes because you don't want people to tie it back to you. But I have all of that to show, so just hang tight. So this whole get over it, you're not even over it. You're not even over me. So how are you asking people to get over it and move on to different content when you're still there? You're in the same place as when I liked that comment that sent you in a fucking spiral.
The past because you have nothing going for you right now. I mean, so there's something that I can fucking say. I just gotta put my truth out there so that way you guys know how we even got here. As far as recaps, I literally don't have any ill will towards her. I literally just wanted those videos down, and I messaged her. She either refused to fucking listen to my message or even...
She has not messaged recaps. Okay, I spoke to recaps today, and I'm going to show you everything that recaps and I discussed. She lied again. She never reached out to recaps. Instead, she just went the route of filing copyright notices and having her channel forcibly taken down. But she never reached out to recaps, much less apologized to her.
But I reached out to her, and I even apologized to her because I was like, I'm sorry about Reddit and how everything's being misconstrued and how your name even got brought up. I don't know how that happened. I don't know who's putting that information out there. But I apologize because I would not want, you know what I mean, that to happen to me. We were besties at one point. You were literally one of my, like, you know, my people. You were OG bestie. I didn't want your family, you know, drama to be up in there. So
not only was she an OG bestie, she sent money to Julia. Okay? She bought your merch. She sent you gifts. She sent you Cash Apps and Venmos, whatever. She sent you cups. This is somebody that was a writer for you. Even when you were wrong, she was supporting you, okay? And you turned around and you did this to her.
Sorry, and I apologize to her, but this is how, yeah. So, I don't have a problem with her, upload videos and stuff. Copyrighted those because I didn't want my nieces on there. They shouldn't be on there.
It's worth mentioning that all of the videos that she copyrighted, probably only one of them had her niece in them. If that was actually the reason why she had them copyrighted. The rest of them didn't have her nieces.
They're obsessed with you. It's freezing. Let me see. Ugh. My fucking eyes. The fact that you're probably, even though it's not your fault, it's just, I feel like, I kind of know recaps. You know what I mean? I kind of know what her thought process is and what's going on. And so that's why I'd rather take the high road and apologize to her, because I don't want her to spiral out. I don't want anybody to just, you don't, like, not everybody's made for this fucking platform, social media bullshit. And I know that she for sure isn't, because you guys don't even know what she looks like. I know what she looks like. You know what I mean? You don't even know what she looks like. You guys don't know what's going on with her. You guys really don't.
Hold on. Do I sense some body shaming going on, Julia? Why does what she looks like even matter? I don't know about you, but I interpret that statement about recaps as body shaming. You guys don't know what she looks like. If she was on here, she wouldn't be able to take the heat.
Much about recaps, you know what I mean? And it's like, I know that she cannot, what they're putting me through, she can't handle it, straight up. And I don't want her to have to go through anything. I don't want anything to happen to her, which is why I'm just referring to her as recaps. But like, I knew this person, and I don't want people attacking her. Please don't go bully her. Please don't, just ignore it. You know what I mean? Or if you want to, I know people like Cheeseman. I know people enjoy it. That's what we're all here, right? But I would imagine she's going to continue to keep doing stuff and stuff. But I just had to address it because it's weird. A lot of you, Bestie, were subscribed to her because you thought that she was going to be posting my lives. And so it's like, okay, I get it. You guys knew her. Y'all, she had been here from the beginning. That's why I just want to let it known what happened, how it happened, and how I'm taking it. Again, I don't have anything against.
So wait, if I heard correctly while I was choking to death, Miss, I don't want anything to happen to recaps. Hang on.
I would appreciate it if she chilled out.
Oh, it's fucking killing me. Hold on. Like I'm crying. All right. So you don't want anything to happen to recaps, but you're the one doxing her in the Reddit thread.
Don't, just ignore it. You know what I mean? Or if you want to, I know people like Cheeseman. I know people enjoy it. That's what we're all here, right? But I would imagine she's going to continue to keep doing stuff and stuff. But I just had to address it because it's weird. A lot of you, Bestie, were subscribed to her because you thought that she was going to be posting my lives. And so it's like, okay, I get it. You guys knew her. Y'all, she had been here from the beginning. That's why I just want to let it known what happened, how it happened, and how I'm taking it. Again,
do you guys feel how fake this shit is? Miss, I don't want her to get any hate, but I know what she looks like. Miss, I don't want her anything to happen to her, but I'm doxing her in the Reddit thread. Miss, you know, don't do this, but go unfollow her. Do you guys see the pattern? Do you guys see how her behavior is historically what happened to me? Miss, oh, don't do this, but really behind the scenes, she's telling people to go after her. She is indirectly telling her platform to not fuck with her. She comes out to set the stage and say she's crazy. She's crazy. She was obsessed. She was weird. You guys saw with receipts that I received from recaps that she left out a lot of things that would paint her in a bad light. She left out the fact that she told recaps to make this group. She left out the fact that she did consent to this content being reposted when it was convenient to her. She left out a lot of things, right? Because her plot is to make recaps look like she was the weird one. She was the obsessed one. She was the crazy one recording all these lives. She forgets to tell you guys that she's the one that told recaps to troll her sister off of the fake account. A lot of things. Recaps, if you're watching, send me the screenshot of the La Huera account where she tells people to go troll her sister, because I don't think I have it saved. But this is what she came out to defend herself with, to set the stage so that anything that recap said after that initial receipt, people were just going to chalk it up to, she's crazy anyway. She's the weirdo that Julia was telling us about. She's a fan gone wild. She's a disgruntled fan of the disgruntled fan. You see what I'm saying? So they pinned everything on recaps at the end of the day. Okay? She knew, and I'm sorry, but Julia, you really fucked up, because recaps is probably the one person that could bring you down, and that's the person that you decided to X out of your group. And I can only imagine the type of dirt her other besties have on her. If my mods, right, if Ashley and Ashley were out doing shit like this, I would be responsible for it, because I'm the one telling them to do it, okay? Straight body shaming her. Miss, I know what she looks like. Nobody knows what recaps looks like. We only know what she sounds like. For whatever reason, recaps has chosen to keep her identity private. I respect that. But for Julia to create an entire hate campaign off the fact that she was getting body shamed and then turn around and body shame recaps, low-key, that is wild to me. Why does her appearance even matter, Julia? Her appearance didn't matter when she was doing all this shit for you, when she was recording your lives, recording my lives, when she was trolling on your behalf. And I have proof of all of that. All those fake accounts. So recaps hit me up today because some shit has been going. If you guys are part of the Reddit thread, I called recaps out because I didn't know that she was fully telling the whole truth. One thing I will say about recaps is she has taken accountability for her part privately with me, including doxing me, doxing my friends, creating fake accounts, targeting the mods. She literally confessed to all of it today, and that's a lot more than I'm ever going to get out of Julia. But although recaps did all that and she is her own person, she did that as Julia's fan. She did that because she was enlisted by Julia to do that. And it doesn't take away her responsibility, but as a content creator, it shows you Julia's influence, okay? Julia, you are very influential, and you have used that to create evil. You have used that to use your followers to bully, harass, and troll me, your family. It's crazy. You are influential. I'll give you that. I'm actually surprised. I actually wanted some insight from recaps as to how did she get you guys to do all this, because I'm kind of impressed. I'm impressed at the extent some of these women who had never met her went to make her happy, right? To create fake accounts, to troll, to screen record, to dox. The one thing you guys were so upset about. So let's get into more receipts. So we confirmed that their group started on March 9th. As you guys saw, the account, the fake account that is still up, which is the AnnieGRCXX. This account belongs to Julia and her group. It was created on May 10th. This account doxed me, my children, my mods, their children, and it is very similar to the other account going around right now of Juju9999. Similar content, similar. Every time Julia starts coming under fire is when I notice that these accounts start being active again. So we got that. I'm actually just gonna pull up Instagram and show you guys what me and recaps talked about today. I did get permission from recaps to use these audios. I was gonna use them anyway, But shout out to her for being willing. A lot of this did come to light because of recaps. Those of you that are like, why are we still here? Why are we still talking about it? Because the receipts are brand new. So recaps messaged me from a shell account. And at first I was hesitant because I was like, how do I know it's her? But we eventually began to voice note. So I can confirm that it's her. And I called her out on the Reddit thread for lying because she said that the onward stuff happened after the group. Or the group happened after the onward stuff where they were reaching out to my collabs, and my dates don't score up with that because onward was targeted in early March and I doxed her in April. So we're just going to go through these messages together. A lot of them include receipts or screenshots. So this is a screenshot from the Bestie's chat where, you know, 80s baby left this chat because they would no longer talk shit about me, pretty much, is what Recap said. She sends me a lot of screenshots. And here are, this is important, okay? She tells me that 80s baby, this is 80s baby's account. If you can see here, it says 80s baby 29. This is really important because this is where you're going to notice that they try to flip it on recaps. The message says, just so you know and others that you spoke to, I left the group and spoke to Julia, blah, blah, blah. They're talking about why 80s baby left the chat. 80s baby then changes her name to Recaps. Okay, notice up here, it's the exact same message, but now it says Recaps. Okay, 80s baby right here. Take a screenshot if you need to. It's the exact same message. And then 80s baby then changes her name to Recaps. We don't know why she did that. My guess is she's going to try to turn it and say that Recaps was the one doing everything. Because then I was provided by Recaps with screenshots of all the shit that 80 babies did. Okay. 80s baby was obsessed with trolling me from multiple fake accounts. As you can see in the upper right hand corner right here, it says Recaps, but it originally said 80s baby. My guess is she did that so that when it was screenshotted, it wouldn't say 80s baby. Okay, so Recap, or 80s baby, used to send these screenshots to the group chat to laugh about how they were trolling me. These are on my original account, my second TikTok account. I mean, they were all over, okay? There's one, another, some of them were really silly things, like my faja. They were making comments about my faja. Another one, everyone needs an assistant. I mean, Walter clearly is yours. Another one, the Heather account. Another one on my deportation videos. What type of awareness are you bringing? Anytime I would reply to her comments. Now, this one is important. This is a screenshot of Victor's TikTok. If you guys remember, I was trying to fundraise for uniforms and jerseys and soccer balls for Club Vallarta. And 80s baby went onto that account, to Victor's, and said, I just don't want to be scammed for the most part, and for sure that the donations go to these kids in need, as she says, for the uniforms and the shoes. Victor replies and says, yes, I reached out to her because she she helps periodically. So they tried to make it seem like they were just people that wanted to help but wanted to make sure they weren't being scammed. In fact, they were just Julia's mods that were ruffling people's feathers to continue this narrative that I'm a scammer. On this message, she says, Julia never did share her fake accounts with the group, but she did let it slip every once in a while that she was watching and reporting on a fake account. And I'll play that in form of a voice note as well.
any of those fake TikTok accounts. Yeah, some receipts were shared, but other people, I don't know who were the ones running it. But at one point, there was a group. I don't know if it's that one that's still up or if there was another one, but there was an account that like posted receipts of you and stuff that were shared in the group, but we didn't brainstorm of like this, or you know, no one came up or pitched an idea of how to post the receipts, but somehow they showed up on a TikTok account, which did get traction. But we were like, who is it? Who is it? And I, at one point, asked Julia, hey, is it this member in the group? And she's like, why would you think it's her? And I explained it, and then she left me on scene. She never really confirmed or anything, but there was suspicion within the group that what we were sharing was shared possibly in another group, and they were doing their own thing. But there's no proof of it. I don't know if there really was another group going on, but the fact that some receipts were being used in a different account, because at some point we were all transparent with like, oh, this is my fake account, this is my fake account, so we knew who was who. Julia never shared her fake accounts, but at some point she would drop a little hint like, oh, I was watching her on a fake account or whatever, and this and that or whatever, you know. So we knew she had those accounts, but she never shared them with us. But there was definitely like, there's weird vibes going on. And then 80s Baby was also weird, always just wanting to talk about you and talk shit about you. And at one point we were like, okay, whatever, you know, ya no está, she's not on TikTok, yeah, let's move on, like, ya que haga lo que quiera con su vida, sort of thing, you know. But she just wanted to dissect everything about you.
You guys remember in the video that we watched right now on Julia's live replay, she mentioned that, you know, RECAPS was behind this Weta account trolling everybody. On the screenshot, you can see where RECAPS is telling her, I was trolling all of you earlier. Julia says, laugh my ass off, I'm dead. RECAPS says, don't say my secret account, it's RECAPS111. Julia says, Nikki was triggered, laugh my ass off. Not her talking about it in the live again. So in this conversation, Julia is aware that RECAPS is using this fake account to troll her sister. And she mentioned this in her live, but she didn't mention that she knew about it and that she was enlisting RECAPS to do so. So you leave a lot of shit out, Julia, that makes you look bad. Like the fact you wanted your own sister trolled, like, you're a weird ass bitch. You are a weird bitch. So anyway, so RECAPS tells me, you know, the group was created on May 9th. Anything before that was not for the group. But prior to the group, I know for a fact that Julia and 80s Baby were behind everything that was happening. From the onward to the emails, all of that shit. This is where she just, I mean, you guys can screenshot these. I'm not going to read all these out loud. This is a conversation that I had with RECAPS today. And I'm going to scroll down. Oh, I did ask her, did Julia ever tell you guys when she linked with Michelle? If you guys remember, when Julia started sharing these police reports, I always said she got them from Michelle. I know for a fact that she did. She's never confirmed it. But RECAPS did tell me she didn't, but at one point I did call her out because Michelle and Sabrina both followed her on Instagram. Okay, Julia, you're a weird bitch for linking up with bitches from Salt Lake that didn't like me or had beef against me. And I always said that. If Julia had told people that she was working with Michelle, it would have discredited everything that she was doing, because regardless of what the circumstances were, everybody agrees that what Michelle did was dirty as fuck. Nobody can side with Michelle. Everybody, like, whether you like me or not, the fact that another Hispanic reported a single mother of 5 to ICE is despicable. Okay, we can all agree on that. And if Julia had ever confirmed that, nobody would have listened to her anymore. That's why to date, she's never addressed it. But RECAPS did call her out because for Sabrina and Michelle to both follow her on Instagram, that just pieces everything. I always knew. I already knew all of this. But, you know, having somebody affirm it just hits differently. Then we talk about PJs. I asked her, why did you guys dox my mods? Right? Because my mods were dragged into this. They were body shamed. Their children were put on there. All of that. And she just says, you know, I don't know. I can't really speak for everybody else. Blah, blah, blah. You guys can She did ask us to post about the school incident on the PV post, but nobody did. You guys remember, we're going to go back to episode 1. You guys remember these posts? You remember these that we talked about in episode 1? Where they were posting the same narrative onto the local PV groups? And in addition to that, they were inciting people to tag the cartel. And people actually started doing it. I showed you guys these last time, okay? This right here is where people began to tag the cartel on the posts that she enlisted people to go comment on or to go post on. Now, Recap says she asked us to post about the PV groups, but nobody did. Okay, people didn't want to take it that far. So no, you know what that tells me? They wouldn't do it for her, so she went and did it herself. And I asked, why did she want anything posted on my son's accident? And she said, I don't know, I would have to find, but she was telling people she's trying to get the school to pay, but she just got money from her supporters. So Julia was following me so closely. This happened in just September, okay? When my son broke his arm at the school, you guys know that I was very public about it. I went to the news. My son, what happened to my son was a direct result of the school's negligence. And I wanted accountability for my son. And the fact that Julia tried to jump into this makes me fucking sick. It makes me sick because this had nothing to do with you. I remember that on that post of my son, people with the same fuckery were dropping into the comments. People started disclosing that I was his mother and that I was a scammer and this and that to discredit what had happened to my son. Okay, so Julia, when you tell me that, oh, you don't have permission to post family, like you have no regard for children because you dragged my children into this time and time again. From the post with the cartel to targeting his accident, like you're fucking sick for this. Like estás like enferma to drag my children into this. I don't ever want to hear like I don't bring kids. You do. We know you and your brother do. We know you, your brother, and everybody from your bloodline does not have any regard for children, for humanity, or for anybody's life, which is why you were egging on your people to go and post in these PV groups to make me a target in real life and for people to tag the cartel. And this is my confirmation that she was behind it. And I haven't ever been able to prove it, but I always suspected because it was her same narrative. And this is confirmation of it. For her to have enlisted people, and at some point they started to draw a line, it seems like, from what Recap said, and they didn't want to do it. So you know what she did? She went and she did it herself. She had fake accounts herself. I don't know how they found these PV groups, but they did. Just like they found everything else that they used. And it's sick. It's literally sick. For her to have endangered my family like that, for her to have brought in my children into this fuckery is sick. But it doesn't surprise me. Her brother literally murdered a mother in front of her children. Julia is not any different. Julia, this is why your brother stuff is relevant, because this behavior makes you just like your brother. And I know that you hated me so bad that your goal was to have me physically hurt, me and my children. This proves it, okay? And then we're going to talk about how balls deep you were in my incident, my domestic violence incident. You guys know what happened with Walter and that I posted about it, right? So this was Julia's comment about what happened to me. And this was on September 20th, 2 days after the DV incident. She says, I called it, bro. Not that she'll ever admit it. I was right. It's sad as fuck. Though I hope he doesn't go back, though she seems legitimately scared he will. Also, I'm not saying she's lying, but he has big hands. Wouldn't her whole neck be like bruised or red with hand marks? And then she goes on to tell people that I probably did it to myself. Okay? She tells people, where to go? Julia DB comment. Oh, wait. I lost it. Oh, here's another one. Get your popcorn, ladies. The work is done. Hold on, there was one more. where she told people that I pretty much did it to myself. And these are definitely angering, okay? These are angering because, oh, here we go. If you think I would choke myself just for social media, like, go to hell. Go to fucking hell. For you to sit here and try to discredit my abuse for your entertainment, yes, it is very triggering, and it is just disgusting and vile. Like, it is so wrong.
Happened. What a coincidence that she says now she doesn't want to go back to be, you know, to Jacobo's hometown, and now she doesn't want to make.
Okay, real quick. So you guys can see here. Here's another screenshot of what she said. She's crazy enough to do that to herself after she made the comments about not having enough bruising on my neck. Statistically, if you know anything about strangulation victims, 50% of them don't have any marks of strangulation. I did have marks in the following days. Like, I don't even need to defend this because the motherfucker admitted it himself, okay? But the fact that these comments were made so shortly after my DV incident, and PJ's too. PJ's, this is the shit that I exposed about PJ's when she was referring to it as my karma. Both of these bitches are fucking disgusting for making any type of comments about my DV incident. And so for you to tell people that we're over it, if you were over it, why were you following me so closely still? Why were you following my story and what was happening to me and the popcorn and this and that? Like, my downfall was literally your entertainment. That is so sad for you as a woman. And you know what, Julia? I hope, well, you probably would never be a DV victim, honestly, because you're a big-ass bitch. And if anything, you're probably the one abusing your man. It is what it is, okay? I said what I said and it needed to be said. Which is why you cannot empathize with women like me that have been the victim of DV, that are the ones that are overpowered, that are strangled, whatever, because you're probably never going to be one. Let's keep it real, okay? You're a big-ass bitch. A dude would probably second guess hitting you because you're big, because of your size, may be intimidating to them. Versus smaller women like us, men actually do go that extra mile to abuse us because we're not stronger than them, because we ain't got shit on their weight, okay? So you're blessed that you will probably never experience it. But for you to talk about this in this light about somebody else, and it's not the first time. We all know that she's made comments about it in her lives. She's made jokes about her family's domestic violence incidents from Jacobo's family. It's clearly not a big deal to her, again, because she has never experienced it. And until she does, she doesn't understand the gravity of what these comments could do for real DV victims. She doesn't understand how damning these are for her, because this is sick. This is literally sick. She hasn't been live because she has been hiding. Since all of this came to light, she has been working. She hasn't been MIA. She's just been working feverishly behind the scenes to take down all the content that exposes her. So I asked her about the mods, and RECAPS said she wasn't aware that the mods were being doxxed. But I said, yeah, in my lives, my mods' work addresses and home addresses were dropped in our lives. This is where RECAPS confirms that she was behind one of the fake accounts. There was an account that used to troll me. My throat is all fucked up today. Hang on. Okay, so when I still had TikTok, there was an account that used to troll me. And that account had an address in the bio. And that address was one of my friend's address that I used to use as a mailing address for my stuff in Utah. And RECAPS was like, hey, sorry, that was me. And I said, you had an address on your bio. And she was like, yeah, I didn't know if it was legit. I obtained that address from somebody else in the group. And, you know, I just went on to explain to her that You guys really could have had something happen to people that had nothing to do with it. You guys were doxing people that had, like, you were leaking addresses that weren't even mine. And if you guys don't know what type of crazy people there are on this app, for you to leak that address, for all you know, somebody in Utah goes and they pull up to that address that had kids in it, that had a whole family in it, that isn't even related to me. That is crazy to me. So these accounts that Julia was enlisting her people to make were doxing me. Any address that they could find related to me was being dropped to intimidate me. They would come on my lives and they would drop the addresses and try to get a live reaction out of me. Recaps apologized, whatever. I'll be honest. When I was getting this information from Recaps, it was very angering, but I had to hold it together because I wanted to get more receipts, okay? I'm just keeping it real. I was angry when she told me this because it was so fucked up. It was so fucked up. And I don't care how you justify this. Me liking a comment of somebody fat shaming Julia per se is not worthy of everything that was done to me by multiple women after for months and months and months, including this. So, you know, she takes her accountability for it. She says, you know, can't change what I did, blah, blah, blah. And then I just kind of start asking him, like I tell her, my invitation to go live still stands. I'm going to scroll down to some of the voice notes where she really starts explaining everything.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you guys do want to reciprocate and take her page down, she's going to be ending up... Sorry. When if I refer to you as scammy, ya viene de cariño, okay? But she's going to end up pulling a scammy because if you take down her big account right now, she has her backup, which you went to, right? And then if you guys take that one down, she's going to go to Jacobo's, which you took over Walter's. You know, you get it? It's just like she's following the same pattern and it's like, but I'm over it. Like, I don't know where all this energy comes from. I, at the end of the day, was like, fuck this. Like, I'm just going to focus on recaps and recording her lives and uploading because I got overwhelmed and there were still like at least 100 videos that I never posted because I like putting titles on my videos and I was just falling behind and I was overwhelmed with everything going on that I wasn't focused on you anymore at the end. It was more of like, let me get... Just trying to get all the recaps lives up there on YouTube, but I ended up not getting to it because that's when all this shit show happened. And honestly, I will say that I feel that 80s Baby was just trying to make me look bad. 80s Baby was probably jealous that, I don't know, that I'm an OG bestie. I don't know. I wasn't up Julia's ass as anyone could probably think that I was. I wasn't. I gave her space. I wasn't annoying trying to message her, you know, be like, ha, you know, we're best kumbaya with her all the time, you know? Like, no, it was never ever like that. And so that's why it was easy for me to walk away. Like, I saw her for who she was when, you know, she was out there telling people shit about me and all this and that. So I was like, well, she's not a real friend. I don't know what the fuck I did for her. So I'm out. And I was able to walk away and delete everything. And, you know, if I was obsessed, I don't know what I would have done, but I didn't care.
So this is a screenshot that says, I don't know, bestie, I would really like you to reach out to Julia with concerns about recaps. Some shit like that.
That's 80s Baby. While I was trying to like clear my name before, you know, disappearing as recaps, that's 80s Baby telling other besties to go to Julia with concerns about me. So 80s Baby was a weirdo. I don't know what her thing was against me, but I know for sure she really didn't like you because she always brought you up a lot and wanted to talk shit. But I have proof that she was doing it.
This is a screenshot that I posted on Reddit where Julia says, hey, Bestie, I really need to talk to you. This is, I think, her reaching out to 80s Baby, where she says, has Recaps reached out to you? Someone messaged my sister-in-law and sent her a video that was translated about me talking about her, and I know it was Recaps. You guys know the newbie video, right? If half of you guys are on Reddit. One of you reached out to one of the family members of Jacobo that Julia was creating steady content on, talking really, really bad about her. Somebody translated that video and reached out to Newbie. Julia takes down the video, and starts trying to find out who it was. If you guys remember, Julia tried to make it seem to date like, oh, it's not a big deal. I create content. They let me. They know. You were a lying ass bitch, Julia. You were pressed. You were stressed, and you still are. And so she thought it was recaps. It wasn't recaps. Somebody on Reddit, the admin of the Reddit page, said today that it was them. And to date, they are still in contact with recaps. Or I'm sorry, with Newbie.
But Julia swore that I was behind the Reddit account, which I'm not. I'm not, never been, never will be. But she claimed I was there, and then she also accused me of reaching out to Newbie, as you can see on there, which I'm like, I'm not. But all this just goes to prove that it was probably her attacking me, dropping my name, bringing me up during Yessie's lives, because during her live, they wouldn't allow comments that had recaps or Star Babes on there, but I'm pretty sure that she, or if she has another group going right now, they probably went in Yessie's live and would bring me up to kind of get her to say stuff, and they probably wanted a reaction from me, and maybe I fucked up by giving them what they wanted, but now she, for some reason, can't take the heat or doesn't want to address it and act like she's a bigger person, but I know she's back to her old mañas, and I'm not. I moved on from that. I learned from that. But yet again, she still accuses me of things, and I'm like, I'm not behind any of it. But if you have proof, prove it. And like I said, show your receipts with timestamps. I have them. But does she? She accuses me of so many things, but she has no proof of it. And like I said, yo no hablo nomás porque tengo lengua. I have receipts to back my shit up. And she can go ahead and say that I was a weirdo, that I was talking to her brother, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead. But if you don't show receipts at the end of the day, and you're trying to silence me now, so is it really fair that you get to talk all this shit if I'm not going to be able to back myself up, sort of thing, If it would you trade some of Julia merch for some scammy merch? She claims I really I was being weird and wanted personalized shit, but I'm like, no, it wasn't even like that. But I still wanted to support her, so I bought all this crap. But I really, I'm like, give me my money back. Give me a refund, But she, I think Ashley commented on YouTube, ella muy feliz getting my money. Eso sí, ahí sí no quería decirme, hey, Bestie, you're being weird. I don't want your money. Don't buy stuff for me. Nah, eso sí, bien que con gusto y brazos abiertos recibí el dinero, ¿verdad? Pero make it make sense.
True, Julia. Juliet's giving scammy vibes. Julia, you giving some scam vibes.
No, yeah, for sure. Just to, her doing this to me speaks volumes, but I mean, her whole content is about talking shit. So I don't know why I didn't see it as a red flag, or anybody else see it as a red flag, that if she is as comfortable as she is to talk shit about her own family, her husband's family, anybody else, what made me feel safe? What made me feel safe? And at one point, she talked a lot of shit about Yesenia to me. And the only thing I will admit was that I agreed that Yesenia at one point spiraled and was this little Starbuckszilla, She got a little obsessed with selling cups. And, I mean, good for her, because she was making her money, She was in Mexico. She was making a good money off of the cups. And so, props to her. But Julia talks so much more shit about Yesenia, and that being that she met her in person, that she knows who she was, and they talk on the side and all this.
Yikes.
I had all these red flags and I didn't see them. And I was blind. I was stupid. I honestly wish I could take back that whole year that I wasted on her and all that energy and doing recaps and freaking spending my money on her, sending gifts, buying stuff off her stupid Amazon wish list. If I can take it back, I would. And I'm glad nothing ever came up of the freaking address, the AKG Baragan. I'm telling you, that was me. If something would have happened, I would have faced the consequences of my stupid ass actions. I'm willing to admit to it, but I'm glad nothing ever happened and other people didn't get dragged into this that didn't have anything to do with it. But uno está ciego. Yeah, I think she kept up with it still because, you know, she was waiting for Walter to expose you and drop all the details of, like, how much you were making off of GRC and how much you actually donated and yada, 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 all that. And so I think Walter at one point did. And so after that, that's when she was like, our work here is done. But I don't think I can show the date on it without, like, having to scroll way back, you know, to the day those comments happened. But I'll look and see, but I don't know. I think if anything, she wanted to hear Walter expose you and drop all those, confirm, I guess, all her suspicions of, like, how much money you were really making off of the Starbucks raffles initially and all that crap.
So yeah, I think it's sad that she was even talking shit about PJs. La PJ se salvó.
No, yeah, for sure. I had all these red flags and I didn't see them. Yeah, I have a lot of scrolling back to do. I couldn't go back to the very first message in that group. Literally, I tried it twice. Took me more than 5 hours to, like, scroll back. And then IG would, like, twitch out and kick me out. And then I'd have to start all over again. And so I gave up. But luckily, I was able to find that audio of Julia, which on May 9th, she told me to gather up the besties and go with 80s Baby and make a group, you know, to kind of talk about this and that, blah, blah, blah. So that's when the group started, May 9th. It didn't happen before. Whatever happened with Onward and reaching out, like, I'm sure maybe she was talking to 80s Baby back then, you know, and so I'm almost positive she had something to do with all that, you know. I didn't do any of that, but whoever else she talked to back then were the ones that were doing all that crap. Or maybe just because of her lives and what she was doing, people, you know, automatically just got some sort of, like, anger towards you and they acted on their own accord, but that wasn't part of the group. But there's no proof of it. I don't know if there really was another group going on, but the fact that some receipts were being used in a different account, because at some point we were all transparent with, like, oh, this is my fake account, this is my fake account, so we knew who was who. Julia never shared her fake accounts, but at some point she would drop a little hint like, oh, I was watching her on a fake account or whatever, and this and that or whatever, you know. So we knew she had those accounts, but she never shared them with us. But there was definitely, like, there's weird vibes going on, and then 80s Baby was also weird, always just wanting to talk about you and talk shit about you. And at one point we were like, okay, whatever, you know, ya no está, she's not on TikTok, yeah, let's move on, like, ya que haga lo que quiera con su vida, sort of thing, you know. But she just wanted to dissect everything about you.
She sounds rather sheepish. I think
it rings a bell, but I'm not sure. But yeah, someone was behind it. We don't know who. There was a couple accounts that we just didn't know where they came from, but I mean, I don't know. I can't confirm. All I know is that there were receipts that people shared in the group that popped up on a different TikTok account, and no one wanted to take accountability for it. So at some point, like, people were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do anything else, you know, like, there's algo está pasando, but we don't know what. So probably my best guess is that Julia had a second group going or something, because a lot of the members that started off in the group towards the end or halfway through stopped engaging, but they would check in. Like, they would check in and see comments, but they wouldn't engage in it very much. So I don't know if they were recruited to the other group or something. I don't know. It sounds like it, but I don't know. I can't prove it, so, you know, I'm not going to speak on something I don't know, and I don't have receipts to kind of show for it. But, I mean, I did ask Julia at one point, hey, is it this person? And she never confirmed it nor denied it, but I don't know. Solo ya sabe. Like, honestly, if she was talking shit to me, to other people, like, I don't even know. I'm just like, I just wanted to move on from this, learn from it, not fall in the same habits. And Julia just kept on accusing me of doing so many things that I'm not guilty of.
So before I play this next audio, right below it, right here, is a screenshot of Yesenia leaving the group chat. She was the last one to leave the group chat, and then Recap said she deleted it but didn't. So this right here confirms that Yesenia had participation in this mass movement as well. So PJs, you're not safe, girl. There's receipts for you too.
Yesenia was the last one to leave, but I think it had taken her like 3-4 days or something to leave the group. And I told Julia I was going to delete it, but I didn't delete it. I kept it because you never know. And I'm glad I did because, look, she's making me out to be a crazy-ass person when I'm like, I go. No, she hasn't. And she claims that she apologized. She claims that she reached out when her brother told her I was being weird. She never did. She claims all these things, but she can't prove it. She claims she got my number from a bestie and she texted me to apologize or to tell me to take down the Jacobo's family videos, but she never did. And that's why I'm like, show the receipts, babe. Show the receipts, because if you're saying all these things, but you have nothing to back it up. And at this point, it really leads me to believe that she's probably making up or having someone, because you see 80s Baby change her name to Recaps. So as far as I know, maybe 80s Babies, they're coming up with receipts on their own. How does it, como se dice, like manufacture their own receipts to fit their narrative, something like that?
Forging their own receipts.
I posted on the YouTube page that, yeah, Julia did reach out early in October to tell a bestie that she wanted to reach out to me, so I unblocked her on Starbabes. I was like, hey, X told me that you wanted to talk to me. She didn't respond. A couple hours later, I sent her that long message like, hey, blah, blah, blah. You threw shade at me about your brother. I know you weren't talking about me because it was never like that. You know, but whatever. Let's move on from this. You don't talk about me. I don't talk about you. I don't know if you saw that video. I posted it on YouTube. And I left her unblocked on Starbabes for a good week. I went live on the Saturday after I sent her that message, and she tuned in into my live because she wasn't even blocked on TikTok. And she checked in into my live. I was having technical difficulties, and I was just about to end it when she entered, and so I ended it. I don't have the screenshot of, but she entered that live as soon as I was ending it, and then when I restarted it, ya no entró otra vez. But I was like, okay, well, if she entered my live and she wants me to reach out or whatever, I sent her a message, so why doesn't she check her DMs if she's expecting me to reach out? Or if she was going to reach out, why hasn't she tried, you know? And so that was Saturday. I waited until Sunday, I think Monday night, she went live or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, that's weird. If she wants me to reach out, why hasn't she? And I had sent her a message. It was still not opened or anything. So I was like, okay, well, then eso nomás lo está diciendo por decir or for something. But I sent her that message, and then I waited, and she never replied back, so I blocked her. And so if she responded after I had blocked her, pues yeah, obviously I wasn't going to get the message, but I gave her more than enough time to answer me, and she didn't, so that's on her.
Julia, you sick bitch. So, Julia Garcia. Hold on. I hadn't seen this one. September 18th at 5:37 a.m. Literally 3 hours after my DV. Maybe 4. You sent this to your besties. Like, you are sick for this. You are sick for this. I hadn't seen this. I hadn't seen this receipt. Like, I just barely saw it, recaps. And I hadn't listened to this message that you left.
Exactly. They swear it's me, but it's not. And like I said, they want to sue me and blame me for all this shit. Like, go ahead, take my phone, track IP addresses. Nothing's going to trace back to me because I'm not behind any of it. That's how, like, sure I am that I haven't done shit since I went away as recaps. Whether they want to believe it or not, that's on them, but I'm at peace, and I know I haven't done shit. I don't know who's behind that account, but whatever. It's not me. That's all I know.